Hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen and others. How are you today? Thank you for coming. Hello. My name is Yvette Sequina. I am a parent contributor at Rise and a graduate of 2021. Rise and Shine Parent Leadership Cohort. Sorry. I am thrilled to be in this space with you all this morning. I will be your MC today, and I will be accompanied by Ms. Robin Wiley. Robin, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Yvette. Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Wiley. I have been a part of Rise for 15 years now. This is my fourth graduation experience, and I am so honored to be in this space with such dynamic parents. Thank you for joining us and celebrating Rise's fourth Rise and Shine Parent Leadership graduation. We are here to celebrate the parents who took part in this amazing experience in uplifting parent voices. Before we get to the next speaker, we would like to incorporate some basic housekeeping. Please, wear your mask at all times. Please be mindful of folks around you. Please move to the side to take a photo while the ceremony is taking place. Kenya will be in the center recording for folks online, so please avoid walking towards the middle. If you need to use the restroom, you can find it on the right side. Thank you.
From Ms. Teresa Bachiller, the Rise and Shine Program Coordinator.
This goes back to when I was a SEWA, right, Mike? Starting with my introduction. Thank you, Yvette, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Teresa Bachelor, the Rise and Shine Program Coordinator. Welcome to our fourth annual Rise and Shine Leadership Program graduation celebration. Yay! Over the last 4 months, I had the pleasure of supporting the leadership development of 6 powerful, I would say powerful parents who have been impacted by the child welfare system. We would like to I would like to start with giving a special thanks to FSMUC, the People's Church, for allowing us to use this space. And I would also like to give a special shout out to Reverend Dodi Mandebron, she's not here today, and Raymond Perez. I also want to thank and applaud the Rise and Shine team, Robin, Yvette, Imani, Kenya, Tracy, and the rest, my supervisor, assistant director, I didn't even forget her time at time, but I just know her as a supervisor, is Bianca. For all the hard work to make this program successful, and to everyone who made this experience possible. And of course, I want to give a huge thank you to each of the parents here today for joining Rise and becoming part of our community. Thank you for sharing your experience and your expertise with us. Thank you, guys. This year, Rise and Shine program theme focused on empowering parents to bond together to make change in New York City community. The parents took part in series of lectures on different topics from guest presenters, which included parent advocates and community members. These 6 parents learned about systemic oppression, history of harm caused by not only the child welfare system, but many other systems, including health, mental health, education, domestic violence, mass incarceration. They also learned about circle keeping, creating a safe space in relationship building in an effort to achieve collective healing. This year, Rise and Shine was hybrid. We offer learning sessions online and in person at the Rise office. Last year, our program was completely online, but we realized the importance of building relationships. We heard from parents how important it is to build community together. It is important for parents who have been isolated by their experience to build connections with their peers. Through the Rise and Shine program, we use restorative justice practice, body system, and frequency check-ins and icebreakers that are connected to the lessons to let people know that they are seen, valued, and cared for. This helps us build community and share stories and create the changes we want to see for families who truly thrive. Today, we want to give you all a glimpse of what it feels like to be in the Rise and Shine program. We will begin our celebration with a check-in that Yvette will lead, which is an opportunity for everyone to get to know each other. Next, we will have an icebreaker exercise about somatic meditation and body movement practice, led by one of our graduates, Jaya. Later in the program, you'll also hear from another graduate, Kimberly, about the value of body system. We will close with Elena, spoken word poetry. Again, thank you all for Yay!
Thank you, Ms. Thank you. To help us get to know each other today, I am going to ask everyone to turn to someone you haven't met yet and share your name, your pronoun, who are you celebrating today, and what can you contribute to empower your community. We will give you 2 minutes to introduce yourself. Please. Ms. Kidd?
Check-in, pronouns, and one thing in your community that you're going to do for you.
I am Glenn. I was going to say most successful people always know most successful people usually start problems. They see the world differently.
Big puppy problem, right?
I understand.
That's good. I mean, really, that's
Thank you. Okay.
It was a very tough year.
And now, we are going to hear from one of our parents, Ms. Jada.
All right, let's see if I can see this. Maybe I can do it on my glasses. Okay.
No, put them on.
Eh?
Put the glasses on.
What's on?
Put the glasses on.
No, I can read. I can see. It's pretty good. Okay. Hi, my name is Jada. After I left an abusive marriage, the harassment from my ex continued for over 8 years and only ended when he became homeless and had more pressing affairs to occupy his time. None of the systems stepped in to address his abuse, mental illness, and drug use. As I was trying to navigate all of this on my own, I started to doubt myself and think that maybe there was some truth in their claim. Maybe I was a bad mother after all. I suffered tremendous anxiety and panic attacks for years. I would agonize over the choice of waking up my sleeping child to go to the hospital with me, or sitting there on my own, imagining welcoming death and my son discovering my lifeless body in the morning, sprawled across a living room floor. The pain of this trauma still lives in my body and the many chronic conditions that haunt it. I have invested years of research about somatic practices such as meditation, mindfulness, Bhartanian, yoga, qigong, and dance to heal with my own experience with domestic violence and ACS harassment. These practices have helped me combat anxiety and improve my physical, mental, and emotional well-being during the hardest period of my life. They have given me agency and confidence. As a former professional dancer with over 30 years of experience in the field, I have explored the radical power of movement in a plethora of communities and cultures. I have collaborated with academics whose research revolves around the benefit of dance and movement, and I have curated a number of events around the theme of violence and oppression against women, using the performing arts as a unifying and healing language. After over 2 decades in higher education, I am now dedicating most of my time to integrating this research towards supporting others and creating curricula of body-centered practices to treat trauma. Belonging that is inherently ours cannot be separated from our bodies and our relationship to them. It is through movement that our bodies unearth and align the sensations and experiences of what it means to belong. In this state, we are allowed to connect to those in the community, to our ancestors, and to our progeny. I envision classes that support and embody practices that will allow women to become more aware in their decision-making, to reclaim their internal, private, and public space. Practices that will help women to use movement as a gateway to individual and collective freedom. I use the term women in the most inclusive way possible to include all beings who identify as women and have experiences as women. Those who deal with violence and those in the system that inflict it. Those on the ground fighting for human rights and those of any gender who support the movement. The act of passing on these healing forms to others is helpful in itself, but the unconditional love and understanding I feel in the glances I share with my son are priceless. I won. First and foremost, I won because the cycle of violence and abuse ends with me. My son walks through life with the unalienable right of safety at home, a home he longs for and thrives in. Despite the hate and heaviness plaguing my existence for so long, I won because I still found the road towards the light. A road of service, of movement, of compassionate beings who care about their fellow dwellers. And finally, by showing up unapologetically and consistently for what is right and important to me, I have been able to channel my warrior spirit towards a community of like-minded fighters who are as persistent and as stubborn as the abusers. One of the few people who helped me then and is in this room today, so supporting me and loving me, is my dearest friend, Jennifer. Her toughness and gentleness inspire my fight and my recovery. To everyone fighting, I say, find your Jennifer and live by this quote by Mother Teresa. I have found the paradox that if you love until it hurts, there can be no more hurt, only more love. During Rise and Shine, sometimes we open our sessions with a grounding meditation. Today I would like to do a somatic grounding meditation with you all. So if you're sitting or you can stand with me, find your feet, visualize your toes, maybe you can wiggle them a little bit to find your connection to the ground. And then extend the top of the crown of the head up, away towards the ceiling, really expressing your vertical line. This verticality represents your dignity. No one can take it away, no one can give it to you, it's innate. And then think about the width of your torso, and you're from the center of the torso out to the shoulders. This is your width and your breath opening out to those around you. This is how you connect to your community. I'm going to do everything with one hand, but you can do with both hands. So take your hands and put them on your chest and give it a little tiny bit of a press to fill your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. So as you inhale, think about inhaling love and compassion and light, and exhale everything that doesn't serve you anymore. If you can, inhale by lifting the arms overhead, expanding your energy out, and exhale by bringing your arms in front of your body, scanning and lengthening and breathing. Let's do that one more time. You inhale up to the ceiling, express your dignity, and exhale out. Scan the body to fulfill it with love and compassion. And now press the hands of the heels out or forward, depending where the people are, and send your good energy and love to those around you. And take your fingers and wiggle them, receiving the energy of those around you, and carry it back to your heart. And take a deep inhale to really connect to your community and to the space of healing and love. Deep inhale. And one more exhale. And you can finish as you like. You can put your hands in prayer. You can shake your body. You can, whatever you want. Just take a moment to really thank yourself for being present today with others in love and healing. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna, for your powerful story, for taking us through your wonderful somatic exercise. We will now hear from the RISE Assistant Editor, Miss Kenya Franklin.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Clear? Yes. No, we know how to do this. I'm Kenya Franklin, assistant at RISE. I co-facilitate the Rise and Shine workshop. Thank you all for coming out today and celebrating the Rise and Shine parents and celebrating all the hard work they have done for the last 18 weeks in the writing workshop. 18 weeks, Shine, 18 weeks. During the writing workshop, we did some creative writing, poetry, and some icebreakers and story sharing. This year, we want to have the writing workshop in person, which I fought for that. Right. In person to make it personal and to connect more with the parents with their writing. Today, we're going to hear some poems that the parents did this year. This morning, you will hear from some beautiful poetry, Just Because poems written by parents. Just Because poem was formatted by Dave Mitchell. So without any more hold up, we have our first parent who will read her poem. Gloria.
Hello everyone, my name is Lorraine. Here is my poem, Just Because. Just because I am me. I am not a joke, I am not a failure. I am not ignorant, I'm just misunderstood. Just because I am me, I am not always happy, I am not always sad, I am not always angry. I'm just emotional. Just because I am me, I am not complicated, I am not careless, I am not always okay. I am a phenomenal woman.
Thank you, Lauren. Now we'll hear from Jackie.
Good morning, my name is Jackie, and this is my Just Because poem. Just because I am a recovering addict, I am not worthless. I am not without morals. I am not a junkie. I am a survivor. Just because I am a single mom, I am not dependent on anyone. I am not lonely. I am not someone to feel sorry for. I am my daughter's mother and father. Just because I am not a college graduate, I am not lazy, I am not incompetent, I am not unemployable. I am a work in progress, and I'm so happy with who I am today. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening to all the hard work the parents did in the writing workshop. Now to take it away, I'm gonna give it to Tracy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tracy Surgenian. I'm the Communications Director at RISE, and I co-facilitate the Writing Workshop Series alongside Kina Franklin. The Writing Workshop Series, which as Kina mentioned was held in person this year, is a structured process that includes community building activities, reading and discussing RISE stories, writing lessons, writing time, and opportunities for parents to share and reflect on their writing process and experiences together in circle. Parents receive individual support and feedback, and also provide one another with peer support as they develop a publication quality story on the topic of their choice related to the family policing system. As Kina mentioned, the Writing Workshop Series also includes poetry and other creative writing opportunities as well. And you already heard some of the beautiful poems shared by Loren and Jackie. I'm excited to congratulate each Rise and Shine graduate on the very powerful pieces they developed over the course of the program. Several parents have shared that while writing their story was a difficult experience emotionally, it was also a meaningful one. Every writer here was deeply dedicated to the writing process, to speaking their truth through their writing, sharing their stories and perspectives, and in doing so, raising awareness of the harm of the family policing system's surveillance and separation of families, supporting other parents, and advocating for their vision for families and communities. Now we'll hear excerpts from 3 parent stories. First, we'll hear from Elena.
Thank you, Tracy. Hello, everyone. My name is Lena. Good morning. And here is my story. I wish I could say this started when first employed in social service 25 years ago, but that would not be true. I was 5 years old in kindergarten when I needed to use the loo, and the teacher told me no. I got up and headed for the restroom, which was in the back of the class in those days. As I approached the bathroom, my teacher grabbed my arm, and with my free arm and all my might, I pushed the metal cabinet over, and it landed on her, leaving a small gash and trickles of blood down her forehead. They brought me to the school psychologist. I sat in the brown wooden chair, just dangling too short to reach the floor, while he read the report in front of him. He looked up at me and said, "You look too pretty to have done what is said in this report. Go back to class." I tell you, he did me an injustice. If only he had courage to ask the right questions. If only his curiosity about this enraged 5-year-old got the best of him. If only he showed sympathy instead of apathy, he could have saved me. But because of his lack of courage or concern, or maybe his ignorance, nothing was accomplished. I wish I could say this was the last encounter with instances like this, but it wasn't. This brings me to my experience with ACS involvement, domestic violence, and ineffective assessments in 2000. ACS gives you this long honey-do list, short on the honey, long on the to-do. So one of these items was to get DV counseling. I attempted several times to get counseling, and each time could not get past the demographics. Every time the question of highest level of education and my answer was a master's in social work, the tables would turn, and I would become the counselor, and whomever would become the client. how they never finish school because of work, children, loss of income, etc. Even though they did me an injustice again, they would write good reports for the judge and ACS because I helped them with resources and words of encouragement. Mind you, never get into my issues. Lack of self-awareness and inaccurate assessments became my pet peeves, surmising that you cannot make an accurate assessment of someone if you lack self-awareness. When you are in a role that involves taking on the responsibilities of other people's lives, you don't have to be perfect, but at least be aware of your imperfections so they don't become obstacles to providing the best service possible. Thank you. I find the divine intervention when later on I was hired as a DV counselor. Long story short, my client exited out of a bad relationship, landing her in a hospital. When she left the hospital, my agency, the client, and ACS met and planned for families to have an emergency housing transfer. We agreed the client would temporarily reside at her mother's. Mind you, her mother was red flagged for having an ACS case on her record, hence the permission from ACS. The client feared for her life and the safety of her children. However, she followed the plan to the letter. But the night before the transfer, ACS took her children into custody. They charged her with neglect for leaving her children with a flagged adult, her mother, even though ACS had given us the permission. It was a clear case of investigation department not communicating with other ACS workers. Can you imagine her devastation? She did exactly what we agreed, and still her children were removed. In the last 30 days, this woman had been beaten, raped, sodomized by her ex-boyfriend, and now separated from her children. She needed support with fighting for her children and avoiding homelessness. Yet upon learning that her children were removed, instead of considering how to provide assistance, the agency director ordered me to sign an agreement to vacate the apartment. I couldn't and I wouldn't do that. In my work with her, my life experience became a resource. I had lived through ACS and I knew what she was facing. Instead of asking her to sign an eviction notice, I explained her rights and what signing the form would mean, and gave her copies of her paperwork to share with her lawyer. 2 weeks later, the court ordered her children to be returned immediately. I say this to say, inaccurate assessments are beasts by themselves, but lack of communication make the situation a two-headed monster. I am calling on leaders and futures leaders to encourage self-awareness on every level of education, employment, and volunteership, keeping in mind that we cannot make accurate assessments without it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lena, for sharing that powerful story. And next we will hear from Cassandra.
Thank you, Tracy. Hello, my name is Cassandra. I remember walking into a visit at the foster agency with my girlfriend, bringing clothes for my son. I remember the visit so vividly. Twice I corrected a worker who was misgendering my partner, calling her he and not she because of her attire. I saw LGBTQIA friendly signs up at the agency. My son was with a foster mother who dressed the same way as my partner, but her gender was set appropriately. It's hard seeing foster parents get more acceptance than birth parents. There's an impact of not using people's proper pronouns. This can be experienced from childhood to adulthood. Family also can attack your sexuality and or gender identity. I would like for the LGBTQIA trainings to be conducted within the community and facilitated for different agencies. LGBTQIA people should facilitate the classes, raising awareness based on their lived experience, just as I'm sharing my lived experience with the system to strengthen understanding of what needs to change. My message to the LGBTQIA youth is that it's okay to love who you love, even if some people don't accept and support you. Some people are ignorant to the norms, and hopefully my story can provide information, sow support, and spread awareness and let you know that you are not alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra, for that important message. And next we will hear from Kim. Kim, who will share about her experience with Rise and Shine's Buddy System.
Thank you, Tracy. During a Rise and Shine community building workshop, early on in the program, we did a group activity where we spun around in circles until we were informed to stop. We were told that when we stopped, the person we were facing would be our buddy. I'm usually guarded and do not prefer activities like these, but I was hoping for the best. My buddy is Jaida, and we instantly connected. She is a single parent impacted by the family policing system. Our sons attended the same school. I learned that she has one son and a wonderful cat and likes writing. During our time in Rise and Shine, we did relationship building activities with our buddies, including one where we interviewed each other using a worksheet. We also did a team building exercise where we were given materials such as marshmallows, spaghetti, and string that we used to build something together. Each Rise and Shine's buddy group created a name for themselves and also came up with the imaginary book title. Jaida and I produced Kimja for our buddy team name. Both of our names combined. The name we came up with for our book is Harlem Rising. My buddy Jaida has been incredibly supportive of me throughout this journey, and I was also for her. We provided support to each other through good times as well as challenging times, which was unbelievably valuable. Having a buddy like Jaida who is trustworthy, non-judgmental, patient, compassionate, and empathetic, but not sympathetic, made a huge difference in my participation to the end. Jaida has provided both personal and professional support. She is collaborating with me and sponsoring my organization, Lady Survivor, to move it forward. On a personal note, Jaida has also become a great friend to hang out with. Having Jaida as a buddy has been rewarding for me because everyone needs a good buddy. I really appreciate this aspect of the Rise and Shine Leadership Program. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, for that beautiful reflection. And next, now I'll turn it over to Amani Worthy, Rise and Shine Rise's Public Speaking Coordinator, who will share a message about the program.
Thank you, Tracy, and hey, y'all. Thank you so much for sharing your powerful stories, parents. Hello, my name is Imani, and I am the Public Speaking Coordinator and also a graduate of the 2020 Rise and Shine Parent Leadership Program. I have had the privilege of being around some of the toughest mama bears I have ever met. These parents are passionate, they're nurturing, headstrong, and compassionate. They have gotten over some really tough times. They are powerful. They wrote about their experiences in the family policing system, and this is never easy. As someone who has gone through that experience, so many things come up for us. And they did their thing. Don't you agree? They did their thing. They took part in public speaking workshops with me and practiced mindfulness and the art of embodiment. In addition to building community through activities and conversations, they strengthen their advocacy knowledge and skills by participating in the public training workshops. In Rise and Shine, they learned about coping with trauma, community organizing, toxic stress, abolition, and the history of child welfare, to name a few. We would like to thank the community-based organizations that helped and supported us by sharing their knowledge and facilitating lessons. So we'd like to thank Fearless R2W, Circle of Support by Mary Burton, Executive Director and co-founder of Fearless. Movement for Family Power exists to fight the foster system's policing and punishment of families by Lisa Sangoy, co-director, co-founder of Movement for Family Power. We have the history of New York City Child Welfare System by Mike Arsham. Hi, Mike. Executive Director, Office of Advocacy, ACS, and Saber Jackson, Parent Engagement Specialist, ACS. Introduction to Advocacy, which was facilitated by Saber Jackson, Letha Jennings, Parent Advocate at Forestdale, Tayora Graves, Parent Advocate Supervisor, Center for Family Representation, Maya Marshall, Parent Advocate at Rising Ground, Hope Lizette Newton, Parent Advocate, Center for Family Representation, and our Rise Board Chair. Hey, Hope! Elliot Williams, Parent Advocate, Center for Family Representation, and also a Rise Board Chair. I saw him earlier. We had Introduction to Pod Mapping by Dana Hanszak, Community Organizer of Voices of Women, Raquel Singh, Executive Director of Voices of Women. Know Your Rights, Early Legal Representation by Michael White Jr., Staff and Early Defense Attorney, Family Defense Practice, Bronx Defender Services. Know Your Rights, Family Policing System, Investigation in Cases, facilitated by Sabrina Calloway, Senior Parent Advocate, Hannah McCuris, Senior Attorney, and Daniela A. Schmidt, Senior Attorney for the Family Defense Practice of Brooklyn Defender Services. Know Your Rights, New York State Central Register by Christine Gottlieb, co-director of NYU School of Law and Family Defense Clinic. Legislative Advocacy, Azmin Ahmed, Training Director, Marissa Martin, Executive Director, Valeria Magliavich, Curriculum Designer, and David Ning, Engagement Manager, all from the Advocacy Institute. Moving from Trauma to Power, which is facilitated by Felicia Allen Davis, Parent Advocate, NAC and Rise Board Member, and Dr. Tricia Stevens, who is a professor at the Silverman School of Social Work. The following RISE staff members provided workshops for Rise and Shine on abolition, community organizing, parent leadership, systemic oppression, and toxic stress. So I'm just gonna say this real quick. The names I'm gonna read first. They're also from my cohort, and they're also like my best friends that I made from Rise and Shine. We have Nashia Bettis, parent organizer, and Shamara. Genevieve Saavedra Dalton Parker, Development Director. Kenya Franklin, Assistant Editor. Bianca Shaw, Co-Executive Director. Shakira Page, Peer Trainer. Zoraida Ramirez, Peer Trainer. Yvette Sequina, thank you, Yvette. Helena Washington, Community Coordinator. And me, Public Speaking Coordinator. We'd also like to give thanks to the Rise and Shine program staff. Teresa Batchelor, Rise and Shine coordinator. Thank you, Teresa. Teresa's our mom, y'all. Robin Wiley, senior parent leader, our other mom. Yvette Sequina. Kenya Franklin over there. She had the best nails on the block, y'all. Tracy Sergenian, Communications Director, and Ashanti Bryant, Program Assistant. Thank you, Ashanti. Thank graduates, we are now going to have the ceremony, my brain just went. Y'all got it. Y'all got it with me. The certificate ceremony.
We can pick it up.
I gotta speak up my Wow, thank you all for sharing. The parents were sharing with us their Rise to Shine experience and the stories. The stories are wonderful. And so Robin and I took this time to celebrate each parent for their accomplishment by presenting them as certificates. So they're in alphabetical order. So Robin will start. Hey guys, give us a second. I'm on the age.
Golden girl.
That's right.
Fabulous girls. I want to congratulate Elena Bellamy. Thank you. I want to thank you for taking this journey with us. You are a leader and have multiple talents. You are powerful and poetic with a genuine personality. Mommy Bear always wants to take care of people. Thank you.
Next online, is Cassandra Gonzalez. Cassandra is very outspoken, resourceful, on fire, express themselves strongly about educating others and advocating for positive change for the LGBTQIA2S+ youth and their families. A leader equipped with determination, very generous, always bringing and sharing her food. She likes to eat, right? She likes arroz con gandules and pork. And just like Jeanette. So Cassandra's story, their story is on Rise website right now for Pride Month. So
now we have Lauren Horton. She is a quiet storm, passionate about her work and her writing, talented skills in giving to her community, positive, loyal, open, humble, dedicated to writing her story, exposes the harm of investigation. Thank you.
The next online is Giaila Martinez. Giaila uses her self-care to devote her emotional well-being and the healing language for others through dancing, turning her experience supported to her community and her body through difficult times, passionate of ending anonymous reporting.
Jacqueline. Always put her daughter first, positive and focused on her writing. She is an inspiration and can accomplish anything she puts her mind to. Brings positive energy to the Rise and Shine.
And last and least, it's Kimberly passionate about her community, especially with child. Supportive of building relationships with the body system, and a brave warrior for justice. A quick picture of my team, done with the certificate here at the stage.
Kenya, you ain't low. Kenya, you ain't low. Come on, sis. Tracy.
2022 Rise graduation.
Congratulations, graduates. Now let's see your hands. Let's see your hands.
And now, if y'all would like, all the spoken word.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Hope Lizette Newton. I am the chair of RISE Advisory Board. Graduates, thank you. I'm getting a little bit chills. Firecrackers, quiet storms, community activists, you are more than what the system says that you were. And you came here and you were brave enough to come into this program to share your story. And sharing your story is the first step in releasing some of the trauma that you went through, and it's the first step in you being able to use your voice in whatever way you decide you're going to use it to move forward. So whether you decide to get involved and be an advocate, or whether you decide to be involved in your community, or whatever it is, domestic violence is in a lot of ACS cases, about 70% of them. So the fact that you have multiple people who've experienced DV is not a surprise to me. Learning about healing and the somatic process and model, I use that as well in terms of helping you. So I'm glad that you were here, you shared it, and you were able to talk about it. People don't recognize how much meditation, affirmations, and visualization help you move forward. Before you can achieve it, you have to conceive it in your mind. And when you conceive it in your mind, you think about it, you smell it, you taste it, you feel it, before you know it, it will become a reality. Okay. So I just want to say that to encourage you, sister, you know I've seen you in the community before, advocating for people with homelessness, right? ADT, correct? Okay, so I do remember. So, and Cassandra, I've seen you. You know, and the others, I'm sure I will see you. And you are more than enough. That's what I want to say. I'm going to give each one of you a handshake. Rise and Shine program is one of the program that I have a close affinity towards, because it's an opportunity for you to begin to connect with others, share your story, go through a process together. You're not alone. And the supports that you get and learning that there are other people and learning about the system is the first step. So continue in doing whatever it is that you decide to do for yourself, your family, and your community. And know that this is just the beginning.
getting to your healing and everything else. Now, that's enough of that. Shout out for the Rise is going to have, drum roll please, mark their calendar for the Rise Up for Parent Leadership Fundraise, October 26th, 6 to 8 p.m. I don't see anybody putting it out on their phone, put the dates down. Y'all need to do that. Put it on, I'm going to say it again, I don't see anybody writing it down. Please put it on your phones. It is, the fundraiser is for Rise Up Parent Leadership is on October 26th, 6 to 8 p.m. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for listing all of the supporters and funders. I couldn't be more proud, but not proud, but grateful. I'm grateful for all that you're doing. I'm grateful for the work that Rise continues to do to help people find their voice. That is so important because the shame that you experience from being impacted by ACS and all other systems that come for you, shame silences your voice. Shame silences your voice. And there's power in that voice. So don't allow anyone to shame you and silence you. Find strength. Everything you went through, those are teaching moments. What have you learned and how are you moving forward? And I'd like to leave that with you. Thank you. I respect the divinity in all of you.
Oh, thank you, Hope. Thank you so much. And now we're going to hear from Rise's co-directors, Bianca Shaw and Jeanette Vega Brown.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Jeanette and I just want to express deep gratitude for every single person who's in this space today, in person and online. Thank you so much for supporting Rise and for supporting our incredible Rise and Shine graduates. We just want to say to you all that we're so grateful that you chose to be a part of this program and that you stuck it out despite the many challenges and hardships. We know that we require a lot from you all to dig deep into your experiences, as Imani says, to turn that poison into medicine and to show up as community leaders. And this is just the beginning, right? As you all heard today, a lot of our Rise and Shine graduates go on to be parent organizers, peer supporters, to be leading the work at Rise in their community and beyond. So continue to support our work, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you guys. I will keep it short and sweet. As co-directors, it's so great because Bianca kind of says all the awesome things that I want to say, so I don't have to say them. But as Bianca said, welcome to the Rise family, graduates. We are excited to continue working with you, and we look forward to see your elevation and your leadership throughout the year. Thank you guys so much for the board, everyone. Thank you for joining us today.
And now we'll have Lena with her story, with her poem, excuse me.
This piece is called Behind the Door Blues. I wrote it a lot of years ago. Cycles of confusion trapped in a mirror-filled room. Is it our sameness or our differences that perpetuates our doom? A reflected image of private affairs will eventually become public paper trail smears. Do as I say, do as I say. Ain't never gonna learn that way. The hymns, the hugs, the me's, the you's. Time to change the scenes to the behind the door blues. I stood then, an unwilling participant of that evil masquerade, mandated to bury love until that childhood thing fades, a non-responding opponent to name-calling debates, because I was a child involved in your unconscious self-hate. Trifling, trifling, what does it mean? Knew it too well by the time I'm a teen. Pure hate, hidden pain, completely shut down. Don't see you, don't hear you, don't want you around. My style of speech, my choice of gear, my boldness, length of hair, all under attack by your insecure atmosphere. Do as I say. Notice similarities as he hides his admiration for snow. It's the self, heal the self. Review differences as she boldly display her love for trees. Both barricades for all the issues projected on me. A revolving door of situations, investigations, and separations, and then eventually a reunification. Do as I say, ain't never gonna learn that way. Hashtag be a role model, y'all. My name is Lena Bellamy, and today I rise and shine.
I got chilled. I'm over here like, she had that bass that she was into it. All right, thank you so much, everyone. This concludes our graduation ceremony. We got lots of food for y'all, some good food. Please feel free to mingle, eat a little something, drink a little orange juice, and enjoy. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up.